Lauren Creel just do incredible work. And Jen and Reverend Claudia are helping prepare and organize us for all of our work in the world. And also helping with today's service is Deborah Freeman, so we are blessed indeed. Now to begin this morning, I want to invite you just to take a moment. I want to invite you to settle your bodies, settle your hearts, center yourselves in this place, looking around with these people. We're going to begin this service with an acknowledgement. We're gathering this morning on the ancestral land of the Anikitawagi, more commonly known as the Cherokee. Now, a land acknowledgement reminds us of those who came before us and of the settler colonial history that has attempted to eradicate indigenous people from the history and consciousness of these lands. It's just important to realize that people are alive and with us still. There are 3 federally recognized Cherokee tribes: the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, the United Kituwa Band of Cherokee Indians, and the Cherokee Nation. And in respect of their original presence here and the ongoing life of our relationships together here in Asheville now, but also in a spirit of commitment to building a better future together, we're going to just take a moment to open our hearts and then hear this morning's opening music.
Levi, would you like to come forward and light our chalice? How about Monica and Audrey Youngman? We kindle the lamp of our faith in recognition of this great truth, articulated by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Action on behalf of life transforms. Because the relationship between self and the world is reciprocal, it is not a question of first getting enlightened or saved and then acting. As we work to heal the earth heals us.
We're going to sing The Earth is Our Mother, verses 1 through 3. And for this, you can remain seated. You'll need your gray drum.
Your lap.
Put it in your lap. You'll need your gray drum. Yes. So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is the beat we're going to, it's very simple. Okay, good. So then when we get, enough. So then when we get to the very end, on the last note, some of you could do a roll. That would be good. So I'm going to play the tune so you can hear the tune, and then I'll get us going. So just listen to the tune.
Beloveds of the UU congregation of Asheville, it is my joy and delight to bring you greetings on this sacred day as you install the Reverend Dr. Odette Fulbright Fulson to be your settled minister. This is such an important time, beloveds, as we emerge from the quarantine stage of pandemic and reinvigorate for ourselves what it means to be in shared ministry, to be in relationship, to be in community with one another. You are literally doing the work of weaving a wider web of Unitarian Universalism as you hold and shelter that core flame of our faith in Asheville. I'm so grateful to you for your ministries and for all that is yet to come from this shared ministry together. In these days, it matters so much how we hold one another, how we care for each other in community, and how we lift our Unitarian Universalist values in the public square. These are difficult days, and they are also days like today, days of celebration, of possibility, and of joy. Thank you for all that you do to hold our Unitarian Universalist faith in your local community, and I offer you every blessing on the shared ministry to come. Be well, beloveds. May this ministry be blessed.
President Sophia couldn't be with us today, so she sent us a message, and we can't show it at Warren Wilson, so we're showing it here to you now. But there will also, because the sound was a little quiet, we will have other ways that you can see it later or share it with others, just so you know. But for all of you, small and tall, we're going to do a story time. How does that sound? Anybody interested in a story time? Me, I am. The cool thing about this story, I'm going to see how many eyes can I see. So if you have eyes, can you look at me and let me see your eyes? Awesome. Thank you so much. I love gazing into your eyes. So this is a story that I read a lot as a kid when I was about your age, and it's called Miss Susie. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Miss Susie. Let's take a look at her up there. There she is. Does everybody see Miss Susie? What is she? She's a squirrel. Have you ever seen a squirrel? Yes. How many of you love squirrels? I do. I like them. There's one that tries to live on our roof. That's going to be important to this story, in fact. So Miss Susie was a brown squirrel, red squirrel maybe. She's reddish. And she loved where she lived. She had a little tiny house at the top of a tall oak tree, and she loved it. And you see, she did everything in her house. She loved to dust and clean, and she made acorn cups and a little broom out of twigs. She made everything herself for her house, and she really, really loved it. And she was very cozy there. And then, as things sometimes do, let's go to the next one. At nighttime, see, this is the whole of the house, really. So you can see that through her window, she can see the night sky. And because she was at the top of a tree, it kind of rocked her at night. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't that be lovely? But I just want you to understand, she truly, truly loved her little house. But something happened, because sometimes in the world, there are squirrels who things have happened to, I guess, and they don't always have the best motivations. Does anybody know what a motivation is? What is it? Right, they don't encourage people. Whatever's going on inside of them makes them sometimes do things that are not great. And unfortunately, a roving band of other squirrels came into Miss Susie's house, and they just barged right in, and they said, you know what? We like this house. It's awesome. You get out. We live here now. And she was not happy about that. And not only that they kicked her out of her own house. Look at what they did. They ate up all the acorns she'd been saving. They broke her broom, and they just tore everything up in her pretty house, which is very sad, right? That's a bummer. So she had to go in the rain to find somewhere else to live, and what she found was an abandoned house. And I will tell you a secret about squirrels. Maybe some people in here know this, is if you have an abandoned house or a house that has even the tiniest hole in it, a squirrel will get into your house. But the kind of cool thing is she found this abandoned house, and she was able to get in through the attic. And when she was in the attic, she found something in the attic. Look at this. Look what she found. What is it? It's a dollhouse. And what size is it? It's squirrel size. Right. So she lost the house that she was living in that she loved so much, but she did find this really big, nice house. And she went inside, and it kind of looked like this. It's pretty. It had beautiful furniture. They were covered in cobwebs and things like that. I'm going to tell you a secret that the author didn't say, but all throughout the dollhouse were little spiders living in there, and she chased them all out. So sometimes the problems cascade downhill. But she cleaned up the house, and she made it all fancy and sparkly, so she had all this fancy furniture and pretty stuff. And then she went to sleep very tired. She went to sleep very tired in a bed. But then the next day, when she was exploring the attic, this is what she found. What is this?
Toy soldiers.
Toy soldiers in a box.
Or nutcrackers.
Okay, yeah, maybe nutcrackers, but I will tell you that for the purposes of this story, they are a little toy soldier group, and you'll see why. But she found them. They'd been in a box, and she was like, I have a big house. Would you like to come stay with me instead of in this box? And they were like, heck yes, we would. And so they came out, and she took really good care of them. Do you see what she's doing there? Tucking them into bed. So it's nice and fancy. And as they got to know each other, she told them her story. I think the next picture, yep. She told them her story about how much she had loved her house, and those other squirrels came and chased her out. And these soldiers she'd been taking such good care of them felt really sad, right, for her. And so that night, they made a plan. Does anybody have any ideas what their plan might be? I've already asked you. Yes. They want to go talk to those other squirrels, which is what they do. They march through the night, and they go over to the tree, and there's a really funny picture I didn't show you of them marching up the side of the tree without gravity being any issue at all. And what did they find when they found those squirrels? What are they doing?
They're attacking them.
Well, no, they aren't attacking. That's good. What are these guys doing? Can you see what they're doing in this picture? They're fighting. They'd gotten really bored, and they just started fighting amongst themselves. They were just a raucous bunch. Something had probably hurt their hearts very badly in their youth. And so anyway, the soldiers come in, and you see they say very bravely, listen, this isn't your house, this is Miss Susie's house, and we want you to get out right now. And they looked very brave. And they looked very much like they knew what they were doing, right? They were coordinated, color coordinated. They had sort of stern faces, and these disorganized, unruly squirrels were like, well, heck, this doesn't look good. We better get out of here. And so they ran off into the night, the squirrels did. And then Miss Susie was able to go to her house. But you know what was true? When she got back, all her acorns were gone, all her cups were broken, her broom. So she had to kind of start over from scratch, which sometimes happens, right? Sometimes in our lives, sometimes we don't have a home, and we need other people's help. And sometimes something happens and we kind of have to start over from scratch. And there can be joy in that too. As it happens, Miss Susie liked doing that. But at the end of it all, she was able, thanks to her friends, to go back to sleep, rocked at the top of the tall oak tree. So it ended up okay, right? Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit about some of these issues, about what it means to love a place dearly and what it means to need help of friends to make a place. But what we're going to do now is sing as you guys head out. Now, if you're a new family or somebody who is visiting with us, you may want to go with your kiddos and meet the teacher so you know where to pick them up afterwards. But for now, we're going to sing to you as you go. the energy when we're all together, all ages. It's lovely. And now I just want to invite you to take a moment to breathe deeply and maybe settle your hearts into a quieter, more meditative space. We're going to share a time of prayer and meditation. Light of ages, Holy Spirit, Gaia, Madre, World Father, you who are above and far beyond names, breathe in and through us now. Help us to hear the still, small voice. Gentle, unsettled hearts, soothe worried brows. Be the source of laughter bubbling up in those who are rejoicing. Be enfolding arms to those who mourn. As the wheel turns again and days grow shorter, help us to see one another with eyes widened in love and brightened with hope. In nights growing longer, give us rest from our fears. Help us meditate on what makes us stronger. Grant us the wisdom and the vision to find new ways to make the world that we long for, one of peace everywhere and sustenance for all. You who are our rock, our comfort, our song of lament, hear now in the silence all the many individual prayers of our hearts. Amen. And now is the time in our service where we share our joys and concerns with a gift of using rocks. And I'm going to say it here so you can hear me, and then we'll come down. But one vessel, the tall cylindrical vessel, into that we place a little bit of salt to help us be able to metabolize the sorrows of our lives. And into the larger round vessel, we're going to scatter some flower petals, which represent the joys of our hearts. And so you can see the tall cylindrical piece is on my right, and the round vessel is over there on the left. And so what we're going to invite you to do is you can come and line up, and there's a way to have two lines right there beside the handrail. And as you come up and place a stone in the vessel, if you would, just continue on your path. If you're on this side, go that way to get back to your seat. And if you're on this side, go that way, and we'll have a flow. And Deborah and I will be there to greet you because we hold you in our hearts. And of course, if you're joining us online, you are welcome to share your joy and concern in the online chat box. we hold you whether you're online or with us in person, but we place 2 rocks, one for joy and one for sorrow, for all of those who are not present with us in person today, because whether far apart or gathered, we are one community. And at this time, too, we take a moment, because I know most of us are carrying this deeply in our hearts. We long for peace in the world and an end to violence and danger. And so, from our chalice, we light our peace candle.
During the spring of 2020, I took a class called The Science of Happiness. Now, if you all recall what was going on in the spring of 2020, that was rather fortuitous timing. It was kind of a dark time, and we learned a number of techniques that had been shown scientifically to increase happiness. One of which was to think of 3 things that we were grateful for. So I decided to try that out, and not only for myself, but for my family, which at that time was our daughter, Serena, who was 23, and my partner, Roger. We decided to do it after dinner each evening. We would each aloud share 3 things that we were grateful for. And my daughter agreed to participate. There was only a little bit of eye rolling, not too much, but she was 23. And sometimes it was hard to find the 3 things, but what we found over time was that we would come to watch for them throughout our days. And it made us appreciate those things even more. And it helped us, I think, grow closer as a family, because each of us got to hear what the other person was grateful for each day. And so we did that, and the daughter is now out on her own, living on her own, so it's just Roger and I, but we still do that to this day. Each evening after dinner, we share 3 things we're grateful for.
A song about saving the planet, and it has a lot of words, so I want to read some of them to you, because they go by, and sometimes there are layers of words. I lay no claim upon this land, for it stood here before I came, and I will only know a fraction of the beauty it enfolds. I lay no claim upon this land, for it was never mine to own when I was born into the majesty of all the life it holds. I will tread lightly.
I think we as Unitarian Universalists, and maybe me as well as a minister, talk more often about the justice that we seek to do together and maybe the hunger for relationships with one another than we do about that other thing that calls us together, our hunger for an experience of the sacred, our deep need to have moments of transformation, moments of transcendence, moments when we know all the way down to our bones that there is meaning in our lives and that there is a love that knows no bounds, a greater something that connects and binds all of life and from which we are never apart. The sacred. It's a word that literally means connected to God or the gods, or connected with a religious purpose. This is its denotation, but its connotation has surpassed those limits. To experience something as sacred means, to many of us, that we have found something of which we stand in awe, something which touches us beyond words, and something that we are moved maybe to gratitude or to wonder, or sometimes even wordless tears. The sacred is that which blesses us and to which we give honor in the quiet of our hearts. We live in a world that for many of us offers little honor or even a space for that sense of the sacred to seep through. There's noise, there's distraction at every turn, and there's often so much just to do that to simply be can feel a little lazy and unacceptable. I mean, think about how many times you've probably heard the joke that we are no longer human beings, but only human doings. The sacred can still seep through. I mean, ask any parent who, upon bathing their child or hearing their laughter, has never known the sacred in that unexpected moment. Ask any gardener coming upon a swelling bud or watching a tumbling bee or smelling that scent of good, rich, turned earth. Ask any craftsperson or worker who's known the joy of labor that has found its groove and satisfies something deep inside. But these are rare. Our lives, and dare I say, our souls are healthier when we actually create some space and some quiet or some stillness and attention to this world of wonder and that small, still voice within. We do better in a tumultuous world when we make time for a sense of the sacred. So I'm going to ask you now, we're not going to, you don't have to shout it out or anything, but I want you to take seriously the question in your own mind for this time. What do you hold sacred? What is sacred in your life? Where is that sense of the sacred nurtured? Just think on your answer. As the leaves turned outside into this symphony of gold and red and burnished copper, I was walking in our neighborhood, and it came upon me again as I gazed upon that, wild and wondrous beauty. This, of course, is sacred. This brief beauty in earth tones, alive against the backdrop of all the busy and the hurry. Into every landscape, life reveals itself in glory. A sense of the sacred. It can come upon us unawares, but how much better we all are when we create lives that make room for its cultivation, that ask us to invite it in and asks us to delight in it. How much more meaningful our days are when we just pause long enough to know where we have found meaning, right? And each year as the seasons turn, it's a toss-up whether I'm invigorated and I'm eager, or if sometimes worry will eclipse joy. In these fragile days, sometimes I find that my heart echoes these words that Starhawk wrote not so long ago. She said, "An issue has thrown me smack up against something I realize I have been trying to avoid, a deep and abiding sadness. I think everyone who loves the earth must be feeling it, that sense of things slipping away, pulled by the tide out of our grasp and gone, places of great beauty, species of remarkable birds, rain patterns that we can count on, the confidence that our children's children will inherit a world in which they can thrive. When we attune ourselves to what nature is saying, she's shrieking in our ears that all is spiraling out of control, and the big systems, the governments and the international agencies that are supposed to kick in and shift our direction are themselves spiraling out of control like tops wobbling in a wild gyre, crashing hardest on those least able to construct bulwarks of money and power." She ends and says, "I'm an optimist by nature and an activist by choice. As long as I can still keep balance on creaky knees and draw a breath into wheezy lungs, I'll keep on fighting and working for regeneration." I know from myself, from many long years on the front lines of these issues, from studying with Joanna Macy in the 1990s to leading an interfaith environmental nonprofit here in Asheville back when I was here before, to my doctoral work more recently, I know, probably like you know, that caring about life on this small green planet, it's long, it's difficult work, it can be heartbreaking. Along the way, I have gleaned a few secrets from wise elders, human and animal, plant and elemental, secrets that help me keep the heart alive and help give us the courage to stay on a long road, the road that does not end where any one of us may end, right, on our own. And the first secret is to be rooted. It's to know where you come from, who your people are, what is native to your home, to be like Miss Susie, to know and love your place, to know your watershed, which species are your neighbors, to become familiar with the light of the sun as the earth turns and all the sounds in the darkness, tides and seabirds, meadow grasses and mountains. We were out in the woods at the mountain, speaking of, and the wind came up, and it's such a loud, rushing, overwhelming sound, and I had forgotten it. It's so impactful. You have to know what you're going to hear. And if we remember that we're a part of this place, we're not apart from it, then we can be nurtured. To be a part of a people, this is to be rooted. In her transcendent book, Braiding Sweetgrass, Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, "After all these generations since Columbus, some of the wisest of native elders still puzzle over the people who came to our shores. They look at the toll on the land and say, the problem with the new people is that they don't have both feet on the shore. One is still in the boat. They don't seem to know if they are staying or not. America has been called the home of second chances. For the sake of the people and the land, the urgent work may be to set aside the ways of the colonist and become indigenous to place. Being naturalized to a place means to live as if this is the land that feeds you, as if these are the streams from which you drink that build your body and fill your spirit. To become naturalized is to know that your ancestors lie in this ground. Here you will give your gifts and meet your responsibilities. To become naturalized is to live as if your children's future matters, to take care of this land as if all our lives and the lives of all our relatives depend on it, because they do. Kimmerer calls this coming to become naturalized because she's describing the journey from immigrant to native. But it means the same thing. It means to be rooted. Becoming rooted encompasses being able to sense the sacred in the round of your life, in your breath, in your body, in the spaces you inhabit. To be intimate with the living web of all existence of which you are a part. Finding the sacred in the world in which you are rooted is a holy secret, one that keeps you able to work for regeneration in the face of whatever may come. You know, this morning I can only share one more essential thing. We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. We cannot save all that must be saved alone as individuals. We cannot do it alone as a small island of people in one congregation. As the Reverend Julian Soto puts it, all of us need all of us to survive. So that is the last part of being rooted, to being able to stay and to grow strong and to be part of the regeneration of this world. And that is, we need to build connections. All around us are partners and friends, allies, co-conspirators. So just reach out and join in. We really need you to participate. That's so important. Being rooted, being native to your own life and place, it's a spiritual practice. It is life-giving, it is transformative. The Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh said in a piece that he wrote called I Am Love, he said, "One time, after walking, I came back to my hut and wrote this sentence: I am in love with Mother Earth. I was as excited as a young man who had fallen in love. My heart was beating with excitement. It is true, even as soon as I just think about going outside to walk on the earth and enjoy nature, her beauties and her wonder, my heart is already filled with joy. I have learned that my home, my country, is the whole planet Earth. Real change will only happen when we fall in love with our planet. Only love can show us how to live in harmony with nature and each other and save us from suffering the devastating effects of climate change. When we recognize the virtues and talents of Earth, we feel connected to her and love is born. We want to be connected. This is the meaning of love, to be at one. So when you're wondering how to feel more at peace, to experience more love and more joy, remember, you are called to be rooted. Rooted in a place, rooted among a people, ready to receive the gifts of the world and meet its responsibilities. All around you here are others, ready to bloom with you. So let us hold hands and go together. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
And now please rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number, oh dear, where did it go? 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Lord,
Great job, everybody. That was fun. I love that song. Now is the time when we invite visitors to introduce themselves. If you would like to, please stand, give us your name and where you're visiting from. The usher will bring you a microphone so that all can hear you. Do we have any visitors? We do.
Hi, I'm Louise, and here with my daughter Nan, who lives in Asheville, and I'm from the Unitarian Society of Hartford in Connecticut.
Hi, my name's Regina, and this is my first time here, and I actually live downtown. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandra, but my friend Mandy is visiting virtually, so welcome, Mandy.
Hi, I'm Eddie. I'm visiting from Raleigh, and these are my parents, and they're visiting me from Oregon.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm visiting from Weaverville. I'm here with my son, Jonathan.
My name is Dave Porter. I'm new in this community and glad to be here. Doug Ryan brought me here this morning, and I want to thank him.
Hello, my name is River. I live in Asheville, and I'm happy to be here. Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Teachers are getting a workout this morning.
Hi, I'm Amanda Huber. I'm Audette's best friend of a bajillion years, and I'm here for the first time, so it's good to see you all.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm here with my partner Grace. We live in Asheville. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Our announcements run as slides at the beginning of the service. If you missed them, refer to Thursday's weekly e-news, as everything is described there. If you don't receive the e-news, ask an usher how to show you how to sign up. An important reminder from the auction team. Today is the last day to buy your tickets to the auction gala on Sunday. The auction folks will be available in Sandberg Hall after service at the sneak preview to help people purchase their tickets. Our community plate partner this month is Beloved, and we'd like to invite Reverend Amy to come up and speak to us about their work.
am absolutely thrilled to be back among my UUCA family and on this very special day, Reverend Odette, in your life and in the ministry of this congregation. Blessings, blessings. I'm here also today to remind us about what I think is the most powerful force in the universe, which is the power of love. The power of love. It is a horrific, difficult hour in the life of humanity and our Mother Earth. There is no doubt about it. But there's also no doubt in my mind that, as Dorothy Day said, the only solution is love, and love comes in community. Beloved Asheville exists to create community amongst people of all walks of life and to come together to face our struggles by creating innovative solutions to some of our most difficult challenges. I still believe in the collective power of love. Yes. I still not only believe in hope, but think that we can embody hope every day in the ways that we operate in our lives. I've seen people come together to create miracles. 5 million pounds of food shared in the last 2 years. If you had asked me we could do that, there is no way. But it's through the power of community. I say we must cast a vision so big that only the community can carry it, and we will. Showing up for a queer couple living in their vehicle who dreamed of going back to college. Guess what? They're in college today. It's really exciting. To see a family struggling under medical debt. One trip to the hospital costs them more than their annual income, and to see that go to zero, that's what we can do together. To see people show up who want to take care of one another and say, hey, can we place a food pantry, a street pantry from Be Love right down from UUCA? We'll fill it every day. And you have. You filled it and filled it and filled it, and people are amazed, and they say, this pantry has saved my life. You did that through your power. We have the power to show up and be human together and show each other that we belong and love one another in powerful, real ways. I want to say that to y'all this morning. And I got in the car and I turned on the radio. My 9-year-old's like electronic music. Anybody? I hear boom, boom, boom. Show me what it means to be human. I thought, how interesting. And then I listened to that song and I thought, I'll flip the radio to Blue Ridge Public Radio, which is more my speed, y'all. And I heard this beautiful jazz music. And I came to learn as Sean Mason was introducing his first album. He's from North Carolina, and he says, you know, the blues teach us how to be human. And I thought, wow, universe. I think that's what you want me to talk about this morning. And so that's what I believe that Be Love exists to do, is to show us that we can be human. That we can kneel down in front of one another, as I have done with many people on the street and others who have been dehumanized by racism and all sorts of things, and say, I see you and I love you and you are beautiful. So I want to tell you one quick story as I close. There was a guy that I met a few years ago. He would come to our hospitality house downtown, and his name was Elvis, but not Presley. But he was a musician. He had a rope, and he had this beat up old guitar that he had tied to his back always. Had long string of hair with a beautiful bald spot on top. Anybody? Come on. And he squinted through these Coke bottle glasses. I found out that he was legally blind. And his passion when he came to Be Love was to find anything in our clothes closet that had sequins on it. Y'all amazing singers with me on that? Weren't they amazing today? So amazing. And so he would search for sequins. I think he wanted to certainly live with some flair, but I think that's what he could see. When the light shone on him, he could see that through the dimness of his eyes, and it lit up his soul. He told me one day something that has never left me, and is this: what we do every day marks us. So I'm a guitar player. Anybody? There's a lot in here. And I used to have calluses on my fingers until a few months ago when I started building houses. You know, we're building some deeply affordable houses. Many of y'all have shown up with us. And my calluses have now dropped to my hands. So I have calluses down here all over my hands. But what we do every day marks us. And that's what Elvis told me. He said, I do 3 things every day. This was his life routine. I pick up some trash. He was taking care of Mother Earth. I try to make a baby or a child smile every day. And I feed somebody. I want to feed somebody. I feed their body, I feed their soul, something. That's the code I live by. So I want you to remember as you go out of here, Elvis. And I want you to show up and be human every day. Do something, and I promise it'll mark you and it'll mark the world in a profound way. Be like Elvis and be human with some flair. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Reverend Amy. That was inspirational. Our community plate partner this month is Beloved, and you can contribute to them by writing Community Plate in the memo line of your check. Please help us support both our congregation and our community partner. What we do matters a great deal. Today's offering will now be collected and gratefully received. If this is your first time here, please let the collection plate pass you by. This service is our gift to you, and your presence is your gift to us.
But you can give to Beloved if you want to. Feel free.
for the gifts of your faith and wisdom, attention and presence, time and resources. We are grateful.
Let us hear this word from the Vedas as we go. May all beings regard me with the eye of a friend, and I all beings. With the eye of a friend, may each single being regard all others. And now, friends, let us sing our closing blessing together, longtime son. And after, would you please join us for coffee in Sandberg Hall, and we'll see you at Warren Wilson at 5. Let's sing.